Yeah, yeah, loud
Roll
and
'em,
clear.
Ferndoc.
Alrighty. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Road Noise. Um, it's it's beginning of July here in Michigan, and it feels like a hot summer is underway. And so hope you're enjoying some cooler weather wherever you're dialing in from or listening in from or watching from. As we're about ready to jump in, but I guess before we do that, I'm gonna just make an appeal here to our listeners. If you're enjoying these, um, please share with a friend. Let them know that these are out there and available. Either send them a link to the YouTube channel or however you listen to this podcast. It'd be greatly appreciated. And if you're using social media and like, be sure to tag dad and let him know so that he knows that it's being shared as well. Where are we
Yeah.
headed to?
When you start off and you say, welcome to another episode of Road Noise, I always feel like you're talking to me. And yeah, I'm glad to be here. Uh, well, on this episode, I want to share a story that I was so sure I had written. Yeah, in case most people aren't aware, all the Road Noise stories I believe that we've shared so far, and here we are in what, season 6 or whatever it is. Um, I have written these out over the years, and we're just now recording them. And but they've been around for a long time, most of them. Well, anyway, so the one I want to share on this episode is one that I was so sure that I had written because I've thought about it so many times and relived that situation lots that I was sure that I had written it. And what was it, 2 days ago? I went looking for it, knowing that we were going to be recording, and I could not find it. And Google does a pretty good job of finding things, but it did not show up anywhere. And so I figured, okay, I really want to record this one. And if it's not written, I'll just go ahead and record it and then I'll write it later. But no, the way it's turned out time wise is yesterday I wrote the story. And so it, all right, just let me take a look here. If my numbering system is correct, this is number 523 of the road noise things that I've written anyway. Well, anyway, so this was just written yesterday, but it happened a long time ago. But let me share it with you. I was to do a Just Kidding program at a church about halfway up the state of Michigan. I mean, almost in the center of the state, a little bit on the west side, but as far as north-south goes, almost halfway up the state. I knew that it was a small church, so I'm anticipating there's not going to be a very large crowd, not a lot of people there. The town wasn't very big, and in order to drive that far on a Sunday morning, I was going to have to hit the road real early. I mean, pretty much before daylight in order to get there and on time. I got up, hit the road, things went great, got to the church right on schedule. Cute little church, kind of on the north side of this little town. And pastor was there waiting for me. And anyway, so went in and took a look around. Oh, this is going to be great. Like I said, just a cute little church and ideal setup with the layout for me doing the magic and juggling on their little stage and so forth. So I was really looking forward to doing this program. Um, didn't take long to get set up. We got the microphone and everything all checked. Everything was going perfect. I mean, right on schedule, no hiccups, no glitches whatsoever. Their little praise band showed up, all three of them, you know, and they wanted to do a last minute practice. And so I sat there and enjoyed listening to the music. And then it was time for people to start arriving. Again, let me share, I was so looking forward to doing this. People came, and that little tiny church pretty much filled up. I was kind of surprised. There were more people there than what I expected. And so I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be a great day. This is going to be a fun, service. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, so the schedule was something like this. The little praise band is going to do two or three songs. Then there's going to be some announcements and then turn it over to me, which is typical, for a Sunday morning church, especially back this many years ago. So I'm sitting in my preferred spot. Usually, if I have my my way, I try to sit on if you're facing the stage, I'm going to be on the left-hand side on the end, of the aisle. So as soon as I'm introduced, they hit the music that I start off with the magic and juggling. And while the music plays, I just out into the aisle and make my way to the front. And so I'm in my place. I'm about three or three or four rows from the front, but right on the end. I like try to leave the very front open for kids and so forth because they always want to be real close to the magic. Well, anyway, so time for the service to start. The praise band starts with their first song, and that went great. They get to the second song, and that's when it happened. The very first word on the second song, my day went downhill instantly because there was a guy behind me that on the very first word, man, he is belting it out with all of his might, with all of his lungs, and he is singing this song. Well, I wished I could say that he was singing, but it really wasn't singing. It was, I mean, how many keys are there you can sing in? He wasn't, he hadn't chose any of those keys. How many notes are there on a page? He wasn't hitting any of them. And he was louder than anybody else in the church. And I'm like, dude, this is so distracting. I mean, just tone it down a bit or something. I mean, I'm guessing he didn't realize that he really couldn't sing. I mean, he wasn't a part of this praise band, and he would have had a hard time getting into the praise band, I'm sure. We get to the chorus, and he got even louder. And by the time we got to the second verse, uh, I mean, I was embarrassed for everybody there to have this guy making all this noise. And I'm thinking, who is this guy? And so I glanced over my shoulder. I didn't want to stare at him or anything, but I just wanted to find out who is it back there that's so loud and so off key and so obnoxious. And then I saw him. And boy, did I have an awakening. Everybody else was standing, except this guy. He's in a wheelchair. He couldn't stand. And it wasn't just a normal wheelchair, it was a motorized wheelchair that has the little joystick on it so that he could steer the thing. And his hands were all twisted and misformed. His face was kind of cockeyed. His jaw was kind of off to the side of his whole face. And he is singing with the top of his lungs. It was a song that was very popular back then, and that's why a couple of days ago I thought about this story again, because every time I hear this song, I cannot but help but think about this guy. At that time, the song was very popular. Like I said, Chris Tomlin had sang it, made it popular. The song was How Great Is Our God. And to hear this guy sing, I mean, I don't know what was wrong with him. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess he probably had cerebral palsy or something to that effect. But it certainly left him not normal. But here's a guy singing, How Great is Our God. I tell you, I was humbled for the attitude that I had before I turned around and saw who he was. I mean, oh, but then as we continued on the second verse and he continued to sing to the top of his lungs, my attitude changed big. I was right back at it, right back, eager to be introduced, eager to get up there and hey, it's going to be a fun program. I'm going to do everything I can to make this guy have a great day. I'm going to do everything I can to share the gospel, not with just him, but with everybody there. But I am just so glad that he is there and that I get to do a program that hopefully is going to bless him. It's going to make him laugh. He's going to enjoy the message and he's going to be glad that he came. Well, as many years ago, and I'm going to say something right here that I might get some comments on, but that's okay. As I've thought about this guy every time I hear that song, I can't help but think that to any music critics, even somebody that isn't that great with music like myself, to hear this guy, you would say, this is the worst singing I've ever heard in my life. But I can't help but think that when God hears this guy sing, he knows this guy is singing it from his heart. And to God, that's the most beautiful sound in the world. And so it wouldn't matter if it was Chris Tomlin singing it, or, you ready for this, or the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. As beautiful of voices as those people have, the most beautiful voice God has ever heard sing was from this man in that wheelchair. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget that man. I have no idea what his name is. If he's watching or listening to this, buddy, you were a huge blessing to me. I learned a huge lesson that day, and I look forward to hearing you sing again. I hope he still remembers me and that it was a good day for him. I was blessed, and I hope he was too.
Yeah, Dad, I love that story. What a great reminder that it just it's like jumps like it immediately jumps to my mind when we get the teaching from Scripture about showing preference about who's in service, giving the wealthy the preferred seat in the house, and just what a blessing it is though to recognize that we're all part of the same body and all part of the same family. That's just a great reminder.
And the Bible talks about a lot about singing and so forth. And just for grins, I looked it up and I found 7 different times in the scriptures where we are instructed to make a joyful noise unto the Lord. 7 times it says make a joyful noise. It doesn't say you have to be on key. It doesn't say you have to be, you know, have the right tone and hitting the right notes. It says make a joyful noise unto the Lord. And so I would encourage you folks, hey, if you can't sing, open up your mouth, take a deep breath, and whatever comes out, let it come out. Let it be a praise to the God that made you.
Love it. Great reminder.
Make a joyful noise. Well, if we're talking about singers, do you know why this one particular singer, I forget his name, but apparently he was real good at singing, but he went to art school because he wanted to learn how to draw a crowd.
Hmm. Singers would probably prefer to draw a crowd, huh?
Hey, if you're any good at it at all, you probably want an audience of some kind. Well, here's one for you. What rock group has 4 guys that can't sing?
Hmm. Don't know.
That would be Mount Rushmore.
Oh, come on.
Hey, it's where I grew up. I
Yeah.
had to throw that one in.
Yeah. That's great. Yep.
All right. Well, so much for singing.
Yeah. Well, for those that are, hey, if you're just joining us and don't get the reference to Mount Rushmore, I just said welcome you to check out episode or season 1, probably season
Yeah.
too, and get
Yeah, somewhere way
backstory
back there.
on, yeah, get the backstory on Dad's journey towards within life and into ministry. So wait, let's park it here and we'll pick it up again next week.
Hey, hopefully we ended on a high note.
Oh, I think we did.